Hi everyone, it's Rebecca here and I have a new layout for SpiegelMom scraps to share, and I'm using the gorgeous Vicki's Rainbow sequin mix for this layout, and it works perfectly with the new Paige Evans Wonders collection, especially with that acetate paper. If you've got that paper, honestly pull it out and put it next to the sequin mix. They are like a match made in heaven. They were just so perfect for each other. So it made my decision on what to use for this layout really easy. So I did a bit of preparation work off camera before starting. I've fussy cut loads of things from the collection. So those envelopes have been fussy cut from paper number 22, and I purposely picked colours that matched the sequin mix. So I've got the two purples, the blue and the orange, and they work really well with this mix. So I just want to have them sitting along the centre of my layout like so. I've just glued them together very quickly just so I can treat it as one piece. And then I'm going to raise those up onto foam, and I'm using the Big Mama foam tape roll from the SpiegelMom scrap store. I love this stuff. It is super sticky, fantastic for sequin shaker pockets. If you like making shakers, then you definitely need to get yourself a roll of this stuff because it is fantastic. And it's got such a good depth to it, so it was really good to use behind these envelopes as well. So I've decided I want to have a little bit of mixed media on my page, nothing too dramatic because the papers in this collection are so bright and bold and sort of bordering on busy that I didn't want anything too dramatic or drastic behind it. So I'm using a blending brush and some distress inks just to add some soft colour. Now this one is Dusty Concord, and I'm just popping it in a couple of areas. I traced around my envelopes and photo with a pencil so I can kind of see where I need to apply the ink. And I'm doing it patchy on purpose because I'm going to come in with a second colour, and that is Shaded Lilac, and that's got a bit more of a blue hint to it, so it works really well with this mix because there's both purple and blue in the Vicki's Rainbow mix. So these two colours worked perfectly, and I'm just going to fill in the gaps with the Shaded Lilac. And it's just a blending brush I'm using there, just in a circular motion. I love how this is looking already. The colours in these envelopes are just fantastic for this mix, so really loving it already. I wanted to have a layer behind my photo but couldn't find anything kind of the right shade of purple in the Wonders collection. So this sheet here is from Vicki Boutin's new Colour Study collection. Now that's another collection that would work really well with this sequin mix. There's loads of purples and blues in Colour Study, so it would work wonderfully. So I didn't mind bringing in a sheet of that. Although everything else is Wonders, that one sheet from Colour Study works really well. So I've added a layer of that behind my photo and distressed the edges. If you follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you'll know I'm a massive fan of having lots of dimension on my layouts and also of distressing all my edges. It's become a thing where it's quite impossible for me to not distress my edges now. It just doesn't sit right if they're not. So I've distressed the edges with a distressing tool, and I'm going to pop my photo up on foam on the right hand side of the page there. Now these florals have been fussy cut from the Speciality acetate, and they are just perfect for this mix. I couldn't honestly believe how well they went with this sequin mix. So I've fussy cut loads of those, and I'm just trying to get them kind of evenly distributed on either end of those, the row of envelopes. So in terms of kind of shape, size and colour, I wanted it to look quite even. And then I've stuck the larger clusters that I've cut either side of my photo, and then I'm just kind of slotting in a few others here and there. And I'm using glossy accents to stick those down because it dries clear and it's also super strong, so I know that they're not going to fall off at any point in the future. And when I'm finished, I do go around with some foam pads and just raise a couple of those flowers up, just to bring in a bit more dimension. Now these butterflies are also fussy cut from the collection. It's paper number 8, which is like a whole sheet of colourful butterflies. It's gorgeous. So again, I've picked colours that work with this sequin mix. So we've got the purples, the blue and the orange again. And I just wanted to add a bit more colour behind that top corner of my photo there. I'm not going to embellish with too much more because the envelopes themselves with all those florals bursting out are quite busy, and then I've added in those acetate flowers, so I don't want to go too overboard. But I do want to add something top and bottom, so I've torn a couple of strips from paper number 2, and I like this paper because it's got the different colours. So it's got the colours of the mix, and it's also got the green and yellow tones, which, although they're not really in the sequin mix, they are in the envelopes and the floral clusters from the acetate. So it was kind of a way to bring in a bit more of those colours to my page. And I love to tear edges rather than cut them on my trimmer, because it just adds a bit more texture to the page. And then I've tipped out my Vicky's rainbow mix into a bowl, and I'm just kind of picking up small handfuls of them, pinches, and scattering them all over my layout. So I've got them on top of my envelopes, below, and a few all over the envelopes. And I'm trying to do it in a way that looks natural, but also making sure that I've got those colours sort of evenly spread out. And then sometimes I like to hand stitch little trails coming out underneath my butterflies to show them kind of flying through the air. But I thought it would be fun instead for this layout to use sequins. So I'm pulling out the larger purple sequins and just adding 4 there underneath each butterfly. I'm just using a paper piercing tool to pick those up, and again sticking them down with glossy accents. It's see-through, so you can't see that through the sequins. And I just decided to add one more over on the left there. I had a bit of a space that was bugging me. And then once I've done my butterflies, I'm going to work my way around that bottom section, sticking all of those sequins down. I'll skip through most of that because it takes me a while. But again, just picking the sequins up where they've fallen with a paper piercing tool and sticking those down. And I love this mix because those little orange ones you see there are little flowers, and they're absolutely stunning, kind of almost like iridescent or holographic. I'm not sure what the word is, but they are gorgeous, and you just, depending on how the light hits them, they're a different colour, so they're super pretty. And then I realised I hadn't got a title on my page and was a bit oops. There's not much space left to have one. So I looked through the sticker book at those alphas, but I worried that they were a bit small and would get a bit lost on the page. So I went through my stash and found the puffy stickers from, I think it was Paige Evans Bloom Street collection. So I had the word spring left, so I've pulled that out, and it was green, which was nice because it just brought in a bit more of that green to the page. I think any more purple and blue would have probably got lost, so the green works really well. And then I'm using the letters fun from the Wonders sticker book, and I've stuck those onto white cardstock just to give them a bit of separation from the background there, from that busy envelope, just to help them stand out a bit. And I've just stuck that down with wet glue. And then I like to have a tidy up as I work. I can't stand working with loads of clutter around me. So a quick tidy up, and then I'm going to finish my layout off with some gold splatters. Now this is just a metallic gold acrylic paint, and I've just added a little bit of water to it on some acetate, and I'm just going to add some splatters with my paintbrush. And that is my layout complete. So a really quick one from me today. Thank you very much for joining me. Please do check out the SpiegelMom Scraps store. Vicky's Rainbow is available there, and if you use code Rebecca15 you will get 15% off of your order. So thank you again for joining me. If you're not already a member of the Spread the Sparkle Facebook group, do head over and join for loads of sparkle and inspiration. But until then, I shall leave you with the close-ups. So thanks very much.